So let me then jump to land administration. There are 8 primary functions that any land administration system is to complete. These are services and functions that all landowners look for. First is actually the enforcement of those land rights we're talking about. And as I said earlier, that's the key part there is when we go in detail, is broken down into 3 aspects. Because we said, first you have to define each of those rights clearly in your system. Secondly is to now be able to figure out how is the right actually recognized on the ground when you get to your village. That right that has been defined in policy, how is it recognized on the ground? Because you may have it written in a piece of paper called policy or legislation, but when you get on the ground, the structures on the ground may not recognize it the same way. So you need to not just define, but also recognize it, and then figure out if that right is going to be secure. If anybody tries to violate that right, how do you get recourse and security? Once you do those 3 steps, then you are able to see the role of land administration in securing your land rights. Second, a land administration system helps to provide guidance around the valuation of land for various purposes. For government and local governments, taxation is one, but compensation is the other. The third function is you need cadastre and recorders, because information is wealth. Information is knowledge, as we're going to discuss later. The fourth is land use and spatial planning. Once again, land use and spatial planning is needed at all levels. We need laws, procedures, strategies, systems that allow planning from village all the way to national, and from national all the way down back to village. 5 is availing information on land to the public, so that that information is easily available and usable. Number 6 is to provide services for land development. This is usually the function of national and provincial and district levels. It's being able to say, okay, so it's tied both to the public and private economy, because it's about broad-based planning we talked about earlier, but then being able to say the Rural District Council, through its tax revenue, is able to provide feeder roads, support construction of small dams, various things that will improve the productivity of land, and also cascade the rural financial services so that those are more accessible to land users in rural areas, because these regular commercial banks don't do it. Usually you need a land bank at early stages of development. 7 is dispute resolution. That's clear. And like I said earlier, we do have challenges there because of poor devolution of judicial systems, and also conflicts between African laws and European laws on various aspects of how you own land, how you inherit it, etc., etc. Then finally, land reform, so that when land reform processes, whether they're reforming the tenure systems or you're reforming land, the actual distribution of land, all those should eventually be handed over to the land administration system, so that they're not always just being run by the political process. So those are the 8 functions you need to understand